Genre, emotional, inspirational, heartwarming. Theme, kindness, loss, healing, humanity. Narration style, third-person cinematic storytelling, perfect for YouTube narration. Opening scene, the portrait shop hook. The rain was falling in thin silver threads across the quiet street. Inside a small art gallery, a man in a janitor's uniform stood frozen in front of a painting, a portrait of a little girl with the brightest smile. His lips trembled. His eyes filled. And before anyone could ask, tears rolled down his cheeks. "Sir," the gallery owner said softly, "are you okay?" The man swallowed hard, his voice cracking. That girl stays at the hospital where I work." Scene 2, introducing the main character. His name was Ethan Cole, a single dad in his late 30s. He worked as a night janitor at St. Mary's Children's Hospital. Ethan had once been a carpenter, but after losing his wife to cancer, he gave up his workshop to stay closer to his daughter, Lily, who had been diagnosed with a heart condition. Every night, he'd sweep the hospital floors quietly, humming the lullabies his wife used to sing. And every night, he'd peek through the glass window of room 209 where his little girl slept, surrounded by machines that kept her alive. Scene 3, the artist's story. The gallery owner gently placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. That portrait was painted by a young volunteer artist. She said the girl's name was Lily. She visits the hospital sometimes to draw the kids, said Lily was special. Ethan's knees weakened. He clutched his chest. "Yes, that's my daughter," he whispered. "But, how did she look so alive in that painting?" The owner smiled faintly. "She told me Lily said something beautiful before she painted her, something about stars." Ethan's voice broke again. "She used to tell me, 'Daddy, when I get better, I'll paint the stars for Mama.'" Scene 4, flashback, moments with Lily. Soft piano music fades in. Every evening, Ethan would sneak into Lily's room with her favorite chocolate pudding. They'd talk about the stars, about heaven, about how her mom must be watching from above. "Daddy," Lily would say, "do you think heaven has a hospital?" He'd smile and say, "No, sweetheart. Heaven has playgrounds, ice cream, and no doctors." She'd giggle, her small hand holding his calloused one. That laughter was his light in the darkest nights. Scene 5, the loss. But one night, the machines went silent. Ethan's world stopped. Doctors tried everything, but Lily's little heart gave out. He remembered the sound, a long, endless beep like a door closing forever. For months, he couldn't step into room 209. He worked, swept, mopped, but never looked up. Every child's laugh reminded him of what he'd lost. Scene 6, the portrait mystery. Now, standing in front of the painting, Ethan felt something stir inside him. The artist had captured Lily's eyes exactly how he remembered them, full of wonder and light. Underneath the frame were small words written in pencil, "For the man who loved her more than the stars." Ethan stared, heart pounding. Who wrote this? The owner checked the tag. It was signed by Maya Thompson, a local art student. She volunteers at your hospital's children's ward. Ethan wiped his tears. "Can I meet her?" Scene 7, the meeting, twist of fate. A few days later, Ethan walked into the art therapy room at St. Mary's. There she was, Maya, a young woman painting with the children. When she saw Ethan, her eyes widened. "You're Lily's dad," she said softly. He nodded. "How did you know?" Maya smiled gently. Because Lily talked about you every time I visited. She did tell me, my dad works here. He's the hero who cleans the stars off the floor. Ethan's breath caught. She said that. Maya nodded. Yes. The night before she passed, she made me promise to paint her portrait to remind you she's still with you, shining. Ethan couldn't hold back anymore. He fell to his knees, tears pouring, as the children around watched quietly. Maya knelt beside him and whispered, she wanted you to keep cleaning the stars, Ethan. Because every time you help someone, she's watching. Scene 8, the emotional climax. That night, Ethan walked through the hospital halls like it was the first time. He stopped by room 209, now empty. He placed his hand on the window and smiled faintly. Hey, sweetheart, he whispered. Daddy's still here. I'll keep cleaning the stars. Behind him, Maya quietly hung the framed portrait on the hospital wall right outside room 209. A small golden plaque beneath it read, in memory of Lily Cole, who taught us that kindness shines brighter than pain. Scene 9, the transformation. From that day forward, Ethan changed. He wasn't just a janitor anymore. He became the heart of the hospital, the man who fixed broken toys, told bedtime stories, and comforted scared parents. He started a small charity fund called Lily's Light, helping other single parents with sick children. And every Christmas, Maya would bring new portraits of the hospital kids inspired by Lily's smile. Ending scene, hopeful closure. Years later, St. Mary's Hospital had grown into a symbol of hope. New wings. New faces. But on the third floor, just outside room 209, the same portrait still hung, the little girl smiling at everyone who passed. One night, as Ethan finished mopping the floor, a new nurse walked by and said softly, "Sir, that girl in the portrait, she looks like she knows you." Ethan smiled, eyes glistening under the hospital lights. "She does," he whispered. "She's the reason I'm still here." He looked up at the portrait one last time. And as he walked away, the stars through the hospital window seemed to shimmer just a little brighter. End scene, fade out. Narrator's closing line, sometimes, kindness doesn't come from the wealthy or the powerful. It comes from the broken hearts that still choose to shine.